here's how I went from broke to 2.5 million US turnover business. Hey, Tim Bainton here. I'm the owner of the Elite brand. We have 2,500 members across the south of the UK, teaching yoga, martial arts, and dance classes. And here's the story of how I built it. So let me set the scene for you. 23 years ago, I started a business, went great for 3 years. Last couple of years, we struggled for many reasons, and I ended up losing the business. But not just the business, as you do with these things, if you've had this experience, hopefully you never will again, or never will if you haven't. But lost everything, my marriage ended, I had my car repossessed, kicked out my home, and I left that business with £100,000 worth of debt. That's 120,000 US to my American friends. And it was painful. And I can say it with a smile and I can laugh about it now because like all the tough times in life, lots of lessons learned, I look back and think I wouldn't change a thing because I learned so much from that experience. But at the time, tough. And I'll never forget, I was kicked out of the home I lived in. I remember my very last day in that home. It was in a city called Bath in the United Kingdom. And I sat on the curb outside my home with my entire life's belongings in 2 black bags. I just got rid of everything. I was in such a bad place. But I had 2 black bin bags with my absolute essentials in. I had a multitude of credit cards and debit cards and bank accounts, all completely maxed out, overdrawn. I'd borrowed from everywhere I could borrow to try and keep the business alive. And my mum, bless her, came and picked me up on that curb on that day. And she drove me back to her house. I spent a few nights in her house. And then God bless my brother and his family. They had a spare room. I moved in there for what was going to be 4 weeks, turned into 8 months while I rebuilt some sense of confidence and my identity, because I'd gone from this successful business guy to absolutely smashing everything to pieces and having nothing. It took some serious time to recover. And I'll never forget the period after that for a few years while I recovered financially from that slip, from that losing everything. Just small things that I'll never forget, being friends inviting us to the cafe to go for a cuppa or for lunch and having to contemplate, like, do we be honest and tell our friends that we can't even afford a couple of hot drinks in a cafe? Or do we just make an excuse and not go because we just can't risk having to spend out on a few drinks? I literally, clear as day, remember one conversation where I was talking to my partner at the time and saying, well, if we go, we can kind of afford to have 1 pot of tea each, but what if they want to stay for a second? We can't really afford a second pot of tea each. Isn't that wild? That was 17 years ago. Fast forward to 7 years ago, and I began the Elite brand that we call ourselves now. And we have yoga, dance, and kickboxing classes, mainly ladies only. Most of our students are ladies in ladies only programs. We also run kids, juniors, teens, etc. classes. And it kind of happened by chance. I was gonna run kids classes and I was gonna run mixed adults classes. I thought I'd run a ladies kickboxing class. I'd seen them before. I'd been part of them to some extent and I loved them and loved the vibe of the ladies only class. And so I thought I'd open one of those too because I was trying to come out of the workforce, out of a normal job and get back into business. And I thought I'd open a ladies class, and we opened in Chippenham, in a little town called Chippenham in the UK, south of the UK. And we had 24 women turn up on that first session. 23 of them decided to join the program. It was me and one of my dearest team members, Becky Hatch, who'd been with me in a previous business, who came in to support me in this one, still with us, franchise owner, building her own dream and business now and doing amazing. And that was the very beginning. And I loved the ladies' classes, the vibe, the energy, the passion, the compassion. There was just so much good about the ladies' classes. And we were able to fill them pretty easy, so we just honed in there. And one of the big secrets to our success was that we just focused on the ladies only kickboxing for the first 4 years. So about 5 years ago, I had a bit of a light bulb moment and decided to franchise the business. One of the best decisions I've ever made. And the thinking was that I get people on the team who are more business minded, and it's been one of the best decisions we've made. We've flourished since doing that. And I now have 18 stunning and wonderful franchise owners who are out there busting their backsides, building the business, taking our brand forward. Absolutely incredible. So where we are now at this beautiful journey, 7 years in, or just over 7 years now as I record this, is 2,500 members. We turned over 2.5 million US last year. We've got about 130 clubs open currently. And we're now building and expanding rapidly. We have approximately 240 of our students are on our instructor training journey, 50 of them currently teaching, so we've got another 190 of them learning how to teach at the moment. So we're going for big expansion. Our big, ambitious vision for our business is 100,000 members across dance, yoga, and kickboxing across the UK. That's our 10-year vision. And we're busy building the infrastructure and systems and people and teams to start pushing towards that wonderful goal. So there's the quick version of my story. And on this channel, I'll be sharing all our methodologies, our strategies, our processes and systems of how I've built from 0 to 2.5 million and beyond. So be sure to subscribe, turn your notifications on. I'll see you on a training video soon.